You know the drill. New phone is released, everyone rushes to review it, then we move on to the next new gadget. But how a phone ages is probably more important than that initial impression. Let's do something about this. Let's take a second look at one of the hottest smartphones of 2016. Here's our Samsung Galaxy S7 after the buzz. Now, before anyone gets too upset, there are going to be a lot of criticisms here, but we'll start by saying this is a fantastic phone. We are dealing with a premium-priced device though, so small issues need to be addressed with a more critical eye than what we might tolerate from a mid-ranger. Now, in my time with the S7, I haven't had any dramatic issues like when Jaime smashed his S7 Edge. I've only had one small drop from waist height onto concrete while the phone was out of a case. Funnily, this was during our initial review. Since then, this phone has lived almost exclusively in a VRS bumper case, which is as good a time as any to reiterate that while this is a gorgeously designed device, I still don't find glass to be the most practical material to use for the back of a gadget that people depend on for daily use, if only for making the phone more slippery to hold onto. Speaking of this design, the way Samsung very subtly tapers the edges of the glass on the screen also makes it difficult to throw on a glass screen protector. You always have this lip that catches lint and dust, but I don't like plastic screen guards, so this is what we're left with. Our last point, talking about how the hardware has aged, this fingerprint sensor is really easy to scuff up. A couple of weeks into fairly normal use with no intentional torture testing, this button already had some scrapes. If your phone occasionally ends up in a pocket or a purse with keys or other life accessories, then you can expect this piece of hardware to get messed up over time. Now, looking at performance, this Galaxy has aged fairly well. I haven't wiped out the phone since initially setting it up. Like most computers, it does seem to have slowed down a bit given the number of apps and the amount of data stored on the device. But this is most noticeable during boot. It takes this phone a while to warm up now. Like the hardware, maybe the most noticeably degraded area of performance on our review unit is unlocking via the fingerprint sensor. There's a longer beat now in between hitting the home button and getting to your home screen. Otherwise, this remains a snappy performer opposite phones using similar hardware, even for all of Samsung's custom software, though it will lose fights to phones which come with leaner ROMs. And from here, we're largely back to most of our assessments from our first review. The speaker and headphone performance is disappointing for such an expensive phone. The battery life is still above average for this 3000 mAh capacity, water resistance is rad, and this is likely the best all-rounder camera for how most people will want to use a smartphone camera. No other manufacturer can compete with this focusing speed and accuracy. This is still our favorite display on any phone released this year, and we're still impressed with Samsung's build, cramming a normal-sized screen into a phone body which starts to compete against small form-factor phones. Samsung has had a rough couple of months, and we're still watching to see what the Note 7 fallout will bring over the next fiscal quarters. But using the S7 for a little more than 6 months highlights the fact that Samsung was on the right track for refining this product lineup. Makes it even more of a shame that one phone could so easily tarnish the entire Galaxy brand. Would we still recommend the Galaxy S7? Absolutely. Both figuratively and literally, this phone is a safe buy. And we want to hear from you. Has your Galaxy S7 held up over these last 6 months? Are any of you affected by the Note 7 recall staying with the Samsung brand? Drop us a comment below this video. As always, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for more long-term coverage of your favorite gadgets, and help us out with some sharing on your favorite social networks. For Pocketnow, I'm Juan Bagnell, some gadget guy on Instagram and Twitter, and I will catch you all on the next review.